Guys, happy Tuesday. In this part 2 of my Therapy Tuesday, I want to go over what are some of the things that you need to know about yourself so that you are 100% sure of exactly who you are. Remember, last week we spoke about why it's important to know ourselves, and I went over how knowing yourself can contribute to your overall level of success and happiness. So now I'm going over exactly what you need to know about yourself and what parts of yourself you need to pay attention to so that you know yourself very well. So a while ago, I was reading a psychology journal, and in this journal, a famous psychologist went over what parts of ourselves we need to know well, and she called it vital signs, and each letter in vital and then the S at the end for signs stands for something really important for us to know about ourselves. And I loved it so much, it always stuck with me, and I've used it since I was in my early 20s, and I think it's really helped me in my life, so I hope it helps you guys as well. Vital starts with a V, so V, values, so easy to remember. What are values, and how do we know what our values are? Values are really what we're okay with versus what we are not okay with. So what our moral, ethical code is. Next on the list is vital, is I for interest. What are your passions? What are your hobbies? What are some of the things that you like to do? What are some of the things that you like to spend your extra time on? And one of the easiest ways to know what your interests are is pay attention to what you notice all the time. What do you pay attention to? What do you see when you're out and about? What do you see when you're watching the news or watching TV? For example, for me, I love fashion because I always notice women getting dressed up. I love beauty. I love seeing women in beautiful outfits. So then I know fashion is something that I'm interested in. It's a hobby of mine. The second one is, what are you curious about? What do you want to learn about in the world? And third one is, what concerns you? So these 3 questions are really good questions to ask yourself so that you can find out exactly what your interests are. So I'm just gonna go over them really quickly. What do you pay attention to? What are you curious about? And what concerns you? Answer these 3 questions, and I promise you, you will know exactly what your interests are if you don't already. Next on my list is T for vital. We went over the Vi and the I, and now we're at the T. T is for temperament. And this is basically, are you an introvert or are you an extrovert? This is really important because a lot of times we become an extrovert based on societal pressure, right? So we think we're supposed to go out. We think we're supposed to be loud. We think we're supposed to be social. And this is something that I keep hearing over and over again through quarantine, that a lot of people are realizing that they're actually introverts. They are realizing that this pressure has been lifted and that they can stay home and relax, and they enjoy watching TV, they enjoy watching shows, they enjoy cooking and just being in their own environment and spending time with themselves. And for years and years, they had no idea. They thought they were extroverts. It's important to know which one are you. What makes you feel more at ease? What makes you relax? Are you the type of person that picks up on other people's energy and feels better when you're surrounded by people? Or are you the type of person that feels better when you're on your own and you have some alone time with yourself? So knowing this is really important, and also understanding that it doesn't matter what anybody else around you is doing. Make sure you're doing you and you're not getting consumed by what you think you should be like. Next one on my list is, so we went over the Y, I, T, and now we're at A. A is for around the clock activities. Are you a morning person or are you a night person? The best way to answer this question is, do you operate the best when you wake up early in the morning and you get the things you need to get out of the way? Or do you operate the best when you do those things at night? Are you in the best mood in the mornings or are you in the best mood at night? This is important because we can really maximize our best potential in those hours that we are our best version of ourselves. So it's really important to know that. So remember, A is for around the clock activities. L is for life mission and meaningful goals. It's so important for us to do something that makes us feel fulfilled, makes us feel good about ourselves, gives us meaning. For a lot of people, having children gives them meaning. Doing charity work gives them meaning. Helping people gives them meaning. Or maybe even their career. Like, I know my husband is an ophthalmologist, and he always says that ophthalmology and saving people's eyesight is what gives him life, is what gives him meaning. So it's important for you to figure out what that is, because that's something that will give you purpose in life, and it will continue to motivate you. And last but not least is the S for signs, and it's for strength. What are your abilities? What are your skills? What are some of the things that you're really, really good at? And I always tell my clients, make sure you are highlighting your strengths and that you are doing more of the things you're good at, and that you're constantly rewarding yourself for doing more of those things you're good at rather than paying attention to your weaknesses. So highlight those strengths and don't pay too much attention to your weaknesses. It's good to know them. It's good to know what you're not good at, because you can always outsource them and you can always learn more about them. But the best thing to do is to highlight your strengths. If you just keep doing what you're good at, and if you keep practicing that and get better and better and better, you will live a much happier life, because it gives you self-confidence and it gives you self-assurance. So I hope this helps. This is something that's really helped me in life, and it's so easy for me to remember it because of the lettering, the vital signs. So I hope you can remember it, and it's something that I journal and I make sure that I am keeping up with at least once every like 3-4 months. So I recommend that for you guys, and I hope it helped you. Thank you.